Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dewayne. I got a video for that Kimble, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. I am joined today by my counterpart, David Piatek with VA Housing Education. How you doing, David?
I'm doing great, Dwayne. Weather's still good. Not snowing yet in Chicago, so very positive because I know you're going to mention that because you always ask me and text me, is it winter yet in Chicago?
Right. So, if you all haven't subscribed to David's channel, make sure you go to VA Housing Education. He has a plethora of videos where he is talking about VA home loans. So make sure you go check him out. David, the VA claim GOAT Piatek. I think, are we going with that? Is it David VA home loan GOAT Piatek? Am I right? We'll, we'll,
Close
we'll
enough, I think.
yeah, we'll get it. So that before we get into today's video, everyone, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button so you'll be notified when we go live or upload a video. So today's topic: VA compensation and home loan scams. Okay, a lot of veterans are out there getting scammed. So Dave and I are going to talk about a couple VA home loan scams and a couple VA compensation scams. So I'm going to kick it off, David. And the one VA compensation scam that I've heard of, I was talking to a veteran not too long ago, an elder veteran, but pretty sharp. And he told me he had a VSO that he was working with, but he didn't understand why he received a letter and a call in the mail from a law firm, okay, a law firm, and was like, we can represent you on appeal. So I was out walking. Yes, I'm walking. And what I noticed was everything hurt. My toes hurt, ankles, knees, back. And I'm like, am I getting old or what? But
I think it
anyway,
happens to me too. So,
yeah. So I'm like, now I'm asking questions. And I'm like, one, how did they get your information? If you're working with a VSO is not supposed to share that information with anybody. And then he said they sent him a contract.
hmm,
And they follow up with a phone call. It was like, hey, you got until this particular time. So I'm like, what was in the contract? And he was like, they wanted 40%. And I'm like, what? And I was like, you didn't sign it, did you? And he was like, no. I was like, well, Google the law firm. I don't, it sounds very suspicious. So I tell veterans, you know, if you're working with a VSO and this happens to you, you need to contact that VSO and be like, hey, did you give my information to anybody? Because I got a call from, this particular law firm and they sent me this agreement. They follow up with a phone call saying, hey, there's a deadline to it. And I was just like, that really sounds suspicious. So if any veterans out there get that before you sign, you need to question it, okay? Because I've never, and that was the first time I ever heard of somebody that happening to a vet. You know,
wow.
it's crazy. So Dave, share us, one common scam that you come across as it pertains to VA home loans.
Yeah, so this one is actually it's extremely unfortunate, and I have had it happen to friends that parents have used their VA home loan to purchase a home, and out of the blue, they don't own the home anymore, and they're being kicked out of their property, and it's called title fraud. And it is wild to me. Okay, so basically, what happens is that someone will get a veteran to sign off on a quick claim deed or the quick claim fraud. Then basically, you as a veteran, maybe someone's asking you to sign something, you're not reviewing it, you sign off on the quick claim deed, they go to the county, record the deed, basically they deed the property over to you, you record it, now you're the owner. Okay. And I mean, I know people like friends of mine, it has happened to their parents. Okay. So this is a very real thing. They have things out there that could help protect you. Like you can get title insurance, like a special type of title fraud insurance. But, I don't really know if that's worth it or not. One of the things with that, I was doing a quick claim with my parents just to share a personal story. And it is extremely easy to get a title transferred. So if you haven't done it before, you just go to your local county, the recorder of deeds office, and ask them or call them and see what that process looks like. But you literally get it signed off by them. It's notarized, and then you go in there and you just hand them the document, and they just stamp it, record it, and give it back to you. There's no verification, which I'm assuming is probably would be a big problem. And if you're in a really small town where everyone knows each other, maybe a little bit different story, because they're like, wait, Bob is getting transferring his title. Why would he do that? We see this in major cities because they just are processing these so much and so many of them every single day. And it's one way that you could basically take your retirement. Their goal was to sell the home eventually and then use that money and move. Now, just imagine, and to my knowledge, to this date, they still weren't able to get it resolved because they did sign off on that document. Yeah, and it's a scam, right? And that is something that happens every day in America. So whenever someone's coming to your house, they're giving you a call and they're sending you documents in the mail, like you did, right? Or like someone that basically they're like, hey, they sent me this, I signed and send it back. And a lot of it too, they'll be like, this is urgent. Like you'll see urgent, open immediately. They'll put it in fancy envelopes. They'll even certify the mail to make it look very legit, right? And if you may not know how to read the documents, maybe ask a family member, ask an attorney, right? Yes, you may pay a little bit of money to do that if you hire somebody, but guess what? The long-term effect of it is that you are going to save your home. Now, other things that you can do, to protect your home. I'm not an attorney, but you can create a trust and put it in a trust. So they make it a little bit harder. I'm not really sure, but that's something you got to check into. But yeah, that is definitely one of those things that you need to be on the lookout for. And unfortunately, it happens all the time. What's another thing on your end, Dwayne, that you've seen?
So before I give you the second one, I got a question for you, Dave.
Yeah.
The certificate of eligibility. If a veteran has never used it, is there a way for them to check to see if that certificate eligibility, like if somebody has already used it in their name, or is it active? Is it a way for a veteran to check?
Yes, this is a bonus item for you guys out there. So that's a really good question, because we've had people that have gotten scammed into, like, somebody does identity theft. They get all your information, they get your certificate of eligibility, and then they go buy a home and you don't even know about it. Okay. So the way to do that, you can go to va.gov and go to the home loan section and then go down to request a certificate of eligibility. Now, most of the time it comes back automatically. And if it doesn't, you just have to fill out some information and then upload like a DD-214. If you're served in let's say the National Guard, then it would be your NGB 22, your service points, and how many you have. But you should always be checking that. It's kind of like when you're in the military, you are checking your, make sure that you have all your points, all your awards, you have everything, right? And you're checking it all the time because you want to make sure you have that. So I would say definitely in good habit to do it at least once a year, just to make sure that you have your benefits and nobody has used them. But that's a good question.
And the reason why I say that is because I was reading a IG report, and what caught my eye, someone, what happened, this individual was taking a veteran's service connection.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
They filed benefits in his name, and it was his neighbor, and he was getting the money. Okay, he was getting the money. And so the veteran eventually went to go buy a house, and I can't remember the report where they talked about, I think it was the funding fee or something, and the vet was like, "I'm not service connected." And they were like, "Yeah, you are. And this is how much you're getting a month." He was like, "No." Doing investigation, they found out it was a raider.
Oh, wait.
Now, when you rate, when I rated, I was looking at people's bank account information, social security numbers. I'm like, I didn't even want to, I was like, you all need to redact that. Not that I'm tempted, but you never want something to come back and like they question you about anything. So his name was all over it. So when I saw the name, I recognized the name. I used to work with that Raider.
No.
And I was like, and I was trying to put a picture to the face with the name. And I'm like, man, I recognize the name, but I can't remember his face. And I was just like, you have got to be kidding me, and that's not the first time I've heard stories. We used to get emails and about certain VA employees, like disciplinary things, maybe theft or whatever. And it was like nurses and doctors at a CMP office. They were getting veterans' names and information, and they were filing claims. And you got to go to a CMP exam.
Yeah, how did that even happen?
So the doctors were in on it. They were doing the exam and it went through. It was like I guess if you looked at it now, what they call it, the RICO, where it's a conglomerate or something like that. But it was several of them, and they were all splitting the money, and it was like more than one vet.
No way.
Yes, yes.
Wow. And I'll add to that with the question you actually asked me before.
Mhm.
On your certificate of eligibility, it will have your VA disability compensation on there. So you can kill two birds with one stone. You could get your certificate of eligibility, and if you're like, hey, I don't have a VA disability, and if there is one, then there's some trouble.
Right. And I would just tell VA employees out there, if you are approached, just cross the street and run for your what life. That is something that one you should be doing, and you don't know. Just say no. So as we wrap up, Dave, what is the second scam on the VA home loan side?
Yeah, and this is called equity stripping. So a lot of times, lenders reach out to veterans and they want them to refinance, right? But then they put in a lot of closing costs and they don't explain that to the veteran. And then essentially what happens is even when you do an interest rate reduction refinance loan, you continue to bring your balance higher and higher. Now, a lot of the big companies that veterans trust have been sued in this equity stripping piece. A couple of years ago, they actually had a law that came out and they put some things in place for veterans so they don't get scammed for these equity stripping. Now, what's important to note that yes, there are laws in place, but the laws are somewhat loosish. And I'll give you a quick example. For like an interest rate reduction refinance loan, when you have a VA loan and you want to refinance into a lower rate, you have to at least have a minimum of 0.5% lower interest rate, and you have to recoup your closing costs within 36 months. But what they don't tell you is that things like transfer taxes, escrows, and those things are not included with that, like insurance. So lender fees, title fees, those things are going to be included in that recouping period. So a lot of times they'll drive up that price to the max that they can get. And essentially, because you don't know how to read the loan estimate or the closing disclosure, or they'll do things like I just saw this recently. I was like, once again, they disclose the loan unlocked to a veteran that's refinancing their home. And sometimes that's a strategy, right? But when I'm seeing this more and more, they're basically holding put your head to the fire where they're saying like, look, by the time you get to the end, now things have changed and now you have to close. That's not a good situation. You want to kind of know that going into it as much as you can, especially on a refinance. Purchases are a little bit different because lenders don't control any of that cost. But that's why knowing all those things up front is going to help you keep equity in your property. And listen, sometimes it makes sense to refinance, sometimes it doesn't. You guys can schedule a free consultation with me down in the description below. You can go in, you actually talk with me, and we can go through those options to see if it makes sense. But it's one of those things that it's unfortunate because I've seen people keep increasing their balances by 20,000, and in real life, right, it takes a while to bring down your mortgage balance. So now all of a sudden you kick in all these fees that you shouldn't have refinanced in the beginning. Now it's just causing additional stress for you.
Right. All right. So the key takeaway here, vets, you get a phone call, you get something in the mail, especially if it comes in the mail, Don't sign anything. Make sure you read it. If you don't understand it, have someone else to look at it that knows with their subject matter expert in that area. Read it and explain it to you. If you get a phone call, take the people's information, get their number, and say, ask some questions, ask around, start talking to people. Then if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. All right. So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.